Shakim, the first name of Nablus given by the Canaanites when it was built in 4000 BC. It is considered the oldest Palestinian city after Jericho. It has been built in the long valley between the two famous mountains, Jerzim and Ibal. One can feel the history of the city coming from the old squares and arches of the old city, which made it a distinctive cultural and historic center at both local and international levels. During the long past decades, Nablus was able to preserve a very rich cultural heritage, as demonstrated in a number of traditional professions and handcraft industries known for Nablus only, such as kunafa, the famous sweet of Nablus, and Nabulsi soap. In addition to its old history and distinctive presence, Nablus added another tangible contribution to the Palestinian civilization as a whole. It encompasses tourist and cultural sites founded many years ago and still exist, such as the Turkish baths, which are functioning in a traditional manner. In addition, it attracts local visitors and those tourists who are coming from different parts of the world. As for the soap factories, part of which were vandalized as a result of continuous bombardment by Israeli forces during the last period, they are still working until present time. Many other historic buildings and monuments could also be regarded as major milestones of the city, such as Al-Khadr Mosque, which was built during the Ottoman era in El Yasmin Square. Along with that, Sebastia Village is one of the famous tourist and historic sites at both Palestinian and global levels. Nablus nowadays plays an important role in improving human and economic developments of Palestine in terms of education, and Najah National University is the top-ranking and most important educational institute in Palestine and in the Arab world. In addition to a big number of private sector companies and civil society organizations made it eligible for being addressed as the economic capital of Palestine. This has inspired the former president Yasser Arafat. Nablus has a remarkable contribution at the historic and political levels, being a hub under which three major refugee camps represent the core of the Palestinian cause of conflict, the Palestinian in the diaspora. During the last uprising in September 2000, Nablus lived unforgettable events due to the continuous incursions and restricted siege, which imposed on the city and severely affected all aspects of citizens in their daily lives. In Nablus, you can see Muslims, Christians, and Samaritans who live together in total harmony. Even mosques and churches are merged together in civilized scenery which has been extended for over hundreds of years.
Nablus is the second largest city in the West Bank, with a population of more than 150,000 people. Generally speaking, the standard of living is low, the rate of unemployment is more than 30%, and almost 35% of the people live in poverty. But the situation in the old city of Nablus is worse yet. The monthly income of more than 42% of households is less than $270, and 50% of those living in the old city can be described as poor. The number of people considered illiterate is 6 times higher than the number of individuals holding postgraduate degrees due to poverty and the high cost of university education. 33% of the buildings in the old city were damaged during the Israeli invasion in 2002 and 2003, with 37% of those damaged having been for commercial use. The Israeli occupation has been the main cause of unemployment and poverty since 1967, forcing the citizens of Nablus to live under conditions of blockade and siege. The Social Charitable Center Society, SCCS, was established in the old city of Nablus where the poorest and most needy people live. The SCCS was founded to provide humanitarian support and social services to injured and marginalized women and children. It also provides health, social, educational, and cultural services in addition to a kindergarten with very minimal fees. Through the implementation of cultural, social, and economic projects, the SCCS seeks to expand the scope of its community work with marginalized groups and conduct human development in a city that has long suffered from a detestable and ugly occupation. For these reasons, the SCCS, along with the Corporation of Dar al Janub, the Union for Anti-Racism and Peace Policy, has launched a project for the economic and cultural empowerment of Palestinian women in the Governorate of Nablus. The main objectives of this project are building Palestinian women's capacities through education in order to enable them to participate in developing Palestinian society, shaping community leaders and decision-makers in social, political, technical, and economic fields, defending the rights of Palestinian society and Palestinian communities against the occupation, strengthening the dialogue with international institutions and Western civil society.